T. Gray and MK, you are now cleared for flight school takeoff.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right, everybody. It's Saturday. Guess what that means?
What?
It's flight school.
It's flight school
Ready
already?
to go. Hey, everybody.
What?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to flight school, no matter where you're coming in from, all over the world. And we do have people coming in from all over the world. Welcome to flight school, everybody.
Hey, how you doing?
You know what? I'm just going to tell you right now. We already know who's going to get the first time out today. You can just kind of tell in the first 10 seconds.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
You got that timeout vibe going
All right,
now.
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
All right, well, we got a bunch of new people on here. Let's see what they just jumped into.
Yeah. So we apologize ahead of time.
Sorry, but not sorry.
For any shenanigans that happened, so, all right.
All right. Well, hey, guys, we want to welcome you to Flight School. This is our iBoomerang Saturday family get-together. It's a training event. It's a recognition event. And what you want to do for all of you new people is you want to make this part of your culture. You want to make this the place to be on Saturdays at 8 a.m. Central Time. I can tell you right now, there's two types of teams going on right now. Teams that are thriving and rocking and teams that are kind of struggling a little bit. The one thing that the thriving and rocking teams have in common is flight school is part of their deal. As new people join their team, they tell them, hey, look, just put this on your calendar. Every Saturday, this is where you need to be. We've got folks eating breakfast with us right now.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
we get pictures of people with their cereal and their toast, and got us up on their big screen.
Looking through the stories last week.
Yeah,
it was funny.
It was cool.
People were taking pictures of, and you know, the other thing that they had was they had their journals.
Their journals. Absolutely. Lord, help me. You see? I'm telling you, he's working on it. Usually it's me, but I'm telling you right now, it's like kind of like we like switch brains today, and this one over here is working on. He's working on a serious. He's working on a timeout. So in any event, check this out, guys. If you are watching this and like you're eating your breakfast or whatever, go ahead and take like a screenshot or a snapshot or picture of where you are and your screen that you're watching us on, whether it's your phone. Somebody was sitting at like a cafe table with us on their phone and had their toast and their coffee. And then we had other people and they're in their living room. They got us up on the big screen. Take a picture, post it on your Instagram, hashtag flight school and tag at iBoomerang. Yeah. All right. Tag at iBoomerang in that. And we'd love to see how you are enjoying flight school.
You know, Lori Spears, our director of travel.
The bestest of the bestest.
The
travel goddess.
She had us on her massive big screen,
beautiful TV, brand new,
which I was like, ew, do you want us that big in your living room? I'm not sure.
It's like we were there.
Yeah. We what? You gotta just.
Are we still crooked?
Just a little. Just a hair.
How much do we go?
This way. More.
It's getting better?
Yep.
More.
More.
Look, it's visibly tilted.
Oh, no. I was trying to go this way. Yeah.
Oh, like that.
Yeah. Now, but back now. There you are.
All
right there.
Thanks. Somebody must have tapped.
Yay.
All right. I just felt sorry for all the people because I could see that it was crooked. And I was just imagining all the people just kind of watching us like this, and it's still crooked. But in any event, hey guys, we're just doing our best, We'll fix it again. We'll try and fix it again a little bit later.
When we get going.
Yeah. So let's get rocking and rolling. What do we got for everybody today?
Well, let's get some slides up. Let's rock and roll.
Let's get the slides going for you guys. We got some good stuff for you. Here we go. Boom.
Boom.
All right.
And boom.
Whichever one of these you want.
All right.
All right.
Let's do this. Oh. Yay! Boom gear.
Boom gear.
Okay. Pow. So there was some confusion.
Just a little bit of confusion. Just a little bit.
All right. So this shirt, which is my new fave, by the way.
Right.
I love this new shirt.
Right.
This shirt here is supposed to be printed this way. It's like a new look. It's like a faded look.
Okay.
When I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's so cool. But there are some people that are saying, but wait, it's printed inside out and backwards. No, it's supposed to be this way, folks. So this was a part. Now, this is a limited time, no
Special
reprints,
edition.
Special edition. It was the Boom Gear Black Friday special.
Right.
Yeah. So you can't get this shirt anymore. But for those of you that did get it, this is how it's supposed to look.
Right. It's kind of, I'm going to call this the Pee Wee Herman shirt. Right. Because if you guys, any of you guys old enough to remember Pee Wee Herman show, he would do things like he'd have all these accidents. He'd fall off his bike. And when he would have, he'd fall or whatever. And whenever he did that, he would always say, I meant to do that. So this T-shirt, we meant to do that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not a mistake. We meant to do that. It's a style.
Okay, I was wondering where you were going with that
Right.
Pee Wee Herman reference.
Right.
I was worried.
He was like, oh my goodness,
Very
where's this going? Where's this going?
So Leslie Green just said, hey, I run out of pages in my iBoomerang journal. Can we get more journals in the Boom Gear store? Tunde,
Oh,
where are
Tunde.
you, Tunde?
Hey, but you know what?
We need more journals.
Sharon Gibbons said, the T-shirt is so dope. She's wearing hers right now. Way to go, Sharon. That's what I'm talking about. Boom,
Love you.
baby.
We're
Yes.
twinsies today.
Yes. And Michelle Jacobs said, yes, Pee Wee Herman. She got it. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate you. Boom.
All right.
Okay. All
Moving
right.
on. But hey, we've got all kinds of good stuff. And the polo sale was screaming
Phenomenal.
hot. And I think we're running out of polos too. So
Exactly.
if you do get in there and you can't get polos, we will restock. All right. Whoop. Man, we did that again. Come on now. All right.
There we go.
Promos. All the promos.
All
How many promos?
All
the
of them.
promos
All of them.
have been extended.
Exactly.
So buy more boomerangs, 25 for 25. That one's working. The $50 ticket special. But we've got an announcement about the Accelerate tickets, the regular priced Accelerate tickets. So stay tuned for that. We've got the Gold Zone promo, which is now the Jump in January promo. It's the 5 and 25 and the 3 for VIP. So
JIIJ.
that's it.
Not JIJJ like I said last week.
Yeah.
Jump in January.
JIIJ. And that's capital J, lowercase I, capital J.
Now you
I
had to
did
go
that?
and like make
See
it
what I
like
did there?
fancy.
Yeah, of course.
Just always adding another layer of difficulty to the whole.
No. It's
Yeah.
not difficult. So if you think it's difficult, just go ahead and drop it in there. You guys can do it. It's not
Hashtag
difficult.
JIIJ.
Yeah, you can do it.
All right.
You can
Okay.
do it.
All right. Cool.
All right. So 5 and 25 and 3 for VIP. What does that mean? Sponsor a minimum of 5 new ambassadors at Coach Business or First Class and get a minimum of 25 new customers by the end of January. So January 31st.
Yep.
And you're going to be invited to the executive CEO luncheon at Accelerate. Now, the 3 for VIP, the top 3 are going to be able to sit at the CEO table. So Mr. Holton and Erling Buggs, you're going to have a chance to sit with them, the top 3. So go ahead and knock it out of the park.
And
this
a global
month.
master ambassador. And,
Yep.
So Edwin and Andre
Yes.
Haynes as well will be at that same
Mr.
table.
Mr. and Mrs. Haynes as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
So good stuff. So, and again, top 3 are going to get special seating, VIP seating for the entire weekend at Accelerate. So get out there, make it happen. Come on, guys, you can do this.
That's right.
Yes,
You can do it.
you can do it.
I'm not taking the bait. You're not going to get me today.
All right, okay. All right, Boom 100 Club. We have a lot of new folks that are joining every single week. It takes 2 slides now. Nick, Deborah, Rye, Alvin, Donna, Tamika, Melissa, Timothy, Tanya, and April. Hold on a second. And April.
In April.
Tavian, Vina, Kevin, Stephanie, Tamika, Dominique, who we missed last week. Dominique, up there in Canada. We love you. We got you in. Rhonda, Mario, Arthur, and Dennett. All a part of the Boom 100 Club.
Yes.
Boom 200 Club.
200.
Therese, Vita, Boom 200, rocking and rolling. That's 200 activated.
200 activated customers. Hey, you know what we need to do?
What?
We kind of need to go back
Yeah.
and do kind of maybe at the end of the month or something, and do a Hall of Fame for each one and list everybody
Yeah.
who's in the Boom 100, 200, et cetera club.
Yeah, you know, and I was thinking about that. That's on my list because we need to know who all is in all of those clubs and who's getting through those. All right, Boom 300.
Look at that.
Patrice.
That's our homie
Yeah,
from the beginning.
love her.
Way to go. I mean, Patrice, she's like an iBoomerang warrior.
She is.
Remember day one
I
in the
do.
Woodlands, Texas?
Yes, I
when we
remember.
first told everybody the name.
She flew out. Where she flew out from, I think it's North Carolina.
She's always everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where she's actually
I
from. I just know she's not from here.
Yeah, that's right. And she said she flew out because she couldn't miss it.
That's right. And she
And I
came
was
by
like,
herself.
Are you crazy?
By herself.
And she's like, yeah, I am crazy. I was like, great.
Yep.
We are too.
And we did that week. Remember, we did like a Thursday night meeting.
We did.
And she was there.
She was there.
And then we did the big reveal
Yep.
on Saturday at the Woodlands. Big
Yep.
deal. We had about 1,200 people or so there, and she was there.
Yep.
And then she's been everywhere since then.
Yep.
She's now built a team. She's rocking, and now she's in the Boom 300
She's
Club.
in the Boom 300 Club, man.
Look at that!
It's
9 months later, 300 customers. Way to go, Patrice.
Nice.
All right,
Awesome. Marlon Baylor.
Marlon. Way to go.
Boom 400 Club.
400.
Rocking and rolling. I think he's up in the Chicago area.
Yep.
All right.
I think
Boom
so.
500.
Tanya Lawrence.
Look at you.
Wow,
Hey.
another one,
Yeah,
just
and then-
from the beginning.
Yeah. And then Laura
500
Kubas
customers.
Hessler. Is that right? Hopefully.
You're all on your all by
Okay.
yourself on that
Okay.
one. I'm not helping you kill poor Laura's
All
last
right.
name.
Okay. Laura, thank you. Good job. You're
Way to go!
welcome.
Congrats, Laura.
Yeah.
Boom
Congrats.
500, 500,
Boom 800.
800.
Teresa and Sam Williams.
Wow, way to
You guys
go.
are killing it.
Hey, so these are these are regular folks just
Yeah.
like you.
Oh yeah.
So if you're out there and you're still sitting on a pile of unused boomerangs, get to work. These are real people showing you the way. And we remember when nobody had 100 customers.
That's right. Absolutely.
And now that's like the
It's like,
thing.
that's the beginning. Somebody actually sent me an email and said, "Hey, I've got my first 25. Is there any recognition for that?" And I was like, "No, starts at 100 now."
Yeah.
In the beginning, yeah, we would have recognized that, but not
Right.
now. It's
No.
where people are leveling up.
Exactly. It's pretty soon 100's going to be like, okay.
Yeah, not even going to recognize those folks
Cute.
anymore.
I'm telling you.
And you know what? We've got somebody who's on the edge of breaking 1,000. Okay?
Really?
Yeah. We know who she is. She's
She's
a
almost
wonderful
there.
lady, but
She's plugging
I'm not
away.
going to
at
mention
it.
her name just yet.
She's going to do
But
it.
she's almost there. She sent an email.
She's a fighter.
This morning. So yeah, she's fighting it. All right. March 2 million.
Look at that.
Yeah, 347,527.
That's just
So-
downright amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's how many customers activated boomerangs that you guys have sent out that have activated and have become customers in iBoomerang. So this number, though, is significant in other ways. So that is part of the Boom Foundation. Every time a boomerang gets activated, a child gets a proper serving of nutrition. So I know that there's something that just happened recently with the Boom Club, the Boom Foundation. Can't let the cat out of the bag just yet, but it's going to be awesome, and you'll find out more about what happened at Accelerate.
That's right. You will. Hey, I just want to take a quick pit stop and just say, hey guys, today is a very, very special training. Right? We started talking about this last week, right? And we talked about how the coaching and mentorship that we've received from our CEO, Holton Buggs, and our Global Master Ambassador, Edwin Haynes, over the last decade and a half have really been instrumental in so many of us having success in this network marketing industry. And I want to let you guys know that today is our Global Master Ambassador has decided to do a once a month training, and those trainings are a curriculum. If you're on that training every each time you're going to learn something additional about how to really be successful in the business. And today is the first one. So we've been promoting it like crazy all week. I hope you've seen it. And I hope that you've been promoting it to your teams. But here's the deal. He's not coming on at the end of the stuff that Mark and I are doing. He's coming on really soon in just a few slides. So if your folks are not on, they are going to miss part or all of his training. So you want to make sure that your people are on and that they're not in the habit of getting on flight school late. You want to get on from the beginning, because we're going to be switching it up all the time. We're not going to always do recognition first. You know, sometimes we're going to just say, hey, good morning, everybody. Okay, let's jump into the training. The folks that come in late are going to totally miss the training. So make sure that you guys are on for the whole thing. Public service announcement.
Thank you for that. So
now back to our regularly scheduled program.
That's right. So it could happen next week, where we could just start off right out of the gates with the training.
It could happen anytime.
And by the way, you know, fair warning, you're going to want to get people on right now.
Right now.
Right now.
All right.
Okay. Good deal. Hashtag good.
Hey.
Another one of our philosophies.
That's it.
So what is hashtag good?
You know, you stop asking me that.
Oh, God, that's right. I can't ask you. Never mind. Don't answer.
Get out of Dallas.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bugs. I set that up again.
You sure did. Come on, where my cowboy haters at?
No.
Join me.
Don't encourage Sam.
Join me. Get out of Dallas.
Encourage him.
That's not what it stands for?
No, it does not. So it stands for get out of debt.
Oh, okay. That too. That too.
All right. So hashtag get out of debt is one of our core philosophies here at iBoomerang. So what are some of our core philosophies? Giving out goodwill without expecting anything in return is one of them. Hashtag good is the other one. And then there's a third one. I'll let you guess what it is later, because we'll have that later in the program here. But hashtag good, get out of debt. So what does that mean? Well, let's go ahead and show you what it means.
Hey, iBoomerang family, Rhonda Vance Murray here from Chicago, Illinois. Coming to you with some amazing news that with my commission checks I've been receiving, I've been able to pay off credit cards and get out of debt. We are promoting get out of debt, hashtag good, because we are just different. G-O-O-D. Boom, baby.
I love that.
Yeah,
I just love these stories. Way to go, Rhonda.
You're awesome, Rhonda. Good job. So if you do have a good story, go ahead and send it to us at marketing@iboomerang.com. marketing@iboomerang.com.
Folks, this is so important because you know what? Unfortunately, you know, well, let me not start with unfortunately. Let me just kind of do just a quick little history, right? So network marketing, this industry is about 60, 70 years old. Right. And unfortunately, it became the trend that people felt like they had to display success in order to attract people to their opportunity. So what would they do? They'd make some money and they would spend it all on clothes. They'd buy cars they couldn't afford. They'd move into a house that they couldn't really afford just to try to make people think their business was successful. And unfortunately, companies encouraged it and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, when we started iBoomerang, we said, you know, let's take a good hard look at this industry. It's time for it to evolve. Let's bring it to a new level and let's solve the problems in the industry. And that's one of the problems that we want to solve. So we said, you know what? We're going to encourage people. Don't take your money that you earn in the beginning and go out and get flash. Take your money that you earn in the beginning and go and get debt free so that when you do get the flash, because, you know, of course we want everybody to have nice things. It's not because you loaded up your credit cards and you're literally one missed check away from having to give stuff back. right? When you do get the fancy car and the nice house, you know, you can do it and you can be debt free, and it can truly be something that your family can enjoy. So get out of debt is one of our core principles. And we love these stories of people using their iBoomerang earnings to pay off credit cards, to pay off cars. We literally have people who have paid off three cars.
Yeah,
Jackie Pippins, Diamond, Jay, Pill, leading by example, right? So folks, we want to see you guys get out of debt. Make sure you share your stories. You're paying off credit cards. You're paying off medical bills. You know, maybe you're paying off your kids' school tuition, whatever it is. Make sure you let us know. Just grab your phone, just like Rhonda did, and send us a video, and we'll highlight you on Saturday morning.
Awesome. Good deal. All right. Getting back to the program. All right. So it's time.
Told you.
It's time.
Told you.
So I have a story, though. I want to tell a story.
Tell a story. Tell a story.
Yeah.
Tell your story.
So.
And then I got a surprise for you.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I'm afraid. I'm concerned. I'm not going to tell my story now.
Yeah, tell your story.
Right, I'm going to tell my story.
Once upon a time.
So, no, it doesn't start like that. So Mr. Haynes, I've known him now for 17 years. And I remember way back at the very beginning when we first met, Mr. Haynes, he came out to Santa Rosa, where I was living at the time. And he would fly out there on the regular, and this is when we were building. You know, this was you know, they were making some pretty good money, but not like today. And one of the guys, my sponsor, would let Mr. Haynes sleep on his couch. He slept on his couch.
Wow.
So, you know, that's the kind of guy, though. That's what I want to tell you guys. That's the kind of guy Mr. Edwin Haynes is. He is a guy that will do whatever it takes. He will sleep on couches without any heat. And this was in the middle of winter, too.
No heat.
Now in California, it's not that bad. I think he was just being a little bit, you know, but anyway, bottom line is this. It's cold. It gets cold up there sometimes, but he does what it takes to help people win. And I know that he is doing that right now. And I'd say that I think he has turned it up, and he's 10x what he's doing, and he's leveling up all the time. So
do we have Mr. Haynes in the green room?
Make sure you get your people on this training right now. All right.
Now.
What's your
so I keep talking about my journals, right, guys? And so I went in the box, and this is one of my original old time back in the days journals.
I got all right. I got to start breaking out some.
The first note in this journal is April 26, 2006, right? And when you go through this journal, right, I'm gonna try to show you guys some, right? I mean, these are drawings from meetings with and trainings, right? And all sorts of stuff. And I got stuff falling out in the book, and you know, just the notes that I took at the different meetings. What's this? Is that an application from the company, right? I mean, look at this one. It's like all colored group drawn out, right? Because this is the kind of stuff that Mr. Bugs and Mr. Haynes taught us. But here's the crazy thing. So you guys have seen the promo, right, for today's training. And the training is what? The training is, you know, the signs of a healthy business. And back then, Mr. Haynes' team was called Diamond Development Marketing, DDMG. And these are my notes from DDMG leadership meeting, April 29, 2006. And Mr. Haynes and Mr. Bugs taught me to keep track of which of my team members were actually there. And you can see my notes from the meeting. And I'm looking through it, and I got drawings and stuff and schematics, because they really trained us good. They really I told you, they taught us the business of the business, right? And so I'm going through this, and they're teaching us, Mr. Haynes is teaching us who and what to work with. And there's attitude and gratitude. I mean, just a whole drawing of how that would, you know, how to work with your group. I mean, just all sorts of stuff. And I kept turning. And then I found today's training, 3 vital signs of a healthy business. Y'all about to get a treat. I got this training from Mr. Haynes in April 2006, and you about to get it today. And I'm gonna tell you right now, these are gold. This is golden, folks. And I hope that one day you get a chance to share your journals with people the same way that we're getting a chance to share ours with you. And you're gonna start to see a bunch of that because Mark and I, we're digging in the crate, right? That's like a DJ thing, right? They say when they go back and they get the old records out, they call it digging in the crate. We're digging in the crate, and we're gonna show you and keep creating value for our leadership, Mr. Holton Buggs and Mr. Edwin Haynes. But right now, we got something we want to show you real quick. And the next person, when this is done, the next voice that you're going to hear from is our incredible friend, brother, mentor, leader, global master ambassador, Mr. Edwin Haynes. All right, so let's show you what we want to show you.
The next time you walk in any room, they need to ask you, are you in our boomerang? Yeah, we real. And we're not going anywhere. As we now have, in my opinion, the biggest opportunity of our lifetime, we're gonna uplift each other. That's how we're gonna run this company. There's a new sheriff in town, and this iBoomerang. You heard me? Wow, wow, wow. What's up, man?
What's up, bro?
Thanks. You good? I got you. All right, Mark. Hey, how are you all today? Everybody's good? If you're good, just like they was talking about on the, for our good recognition, just put good in there, hashtag good. Good morning to everyone. As we do have to say now, it's a common thing, but it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends on where you are. We are everywhere, all over the world with our company, and I can tell you we are super excited to be a part of this great industry and actually leading the charge as to where we are going right now in this industry. And also I want to just say again, hats off to T. Gray and Mark Kipcart. I'm sitting here, I was snapping pictures because I was saying, you all don't see the behind the scenes work. It kind of reminded me in a sense of me and HB back in the day when we used to have to do the meetings ourselves. I'm pretty sure they're going to have a production team and all that stuff coming soon. But, back in the day, if you never heard the story of how HB and I came up in the industry, he would have this old Lexus that I was so ready for him to get rid of, but we couldn't, he was being cheap, first of all. And and we used to have to carry the screen, our own projector screen, and so the screen would make an indentation on the back seat, and I didn't want it to pull up in the front, so we would get there early, and I had my tape and the cords and all that stuff, and there wasn't a Tundi around, at that time, and the different people, so I would actually go and tape the cords down and set up the projector, and me and we would test the sound and have the mic and all of that stuff ready to go. Things that we did early on ourselves, even before people saw the presentation. And then we would have to go and freshen up and try to look fresh prior to doing the presentation and knock it out. And it was all on us. And Mr. HB just walked in anyway.
I wasn't being cheap. I was practicing good.
He said he wasn't being cheap. He was practicing good. Well, he's still doing it right now.
The first Lexus they repossessed, they weren't going to repossess that. I paid cash.
He said, oh, man. So we had to come up. But you know what? I look at the multiple roles. Nobody feels that they're too good to get to do the dirty work. And rolling up the sleeves and making it happen. And so you all can have the best possible trainings that you can have. And so many people get into certain positions or get tied into their titles and they neglect the real things that are necessary for a person to be successful. Now, I don't know what's going on with this camera now. It looks like I'm wiggling around. I'm wiggling around, but they're gonna get it straight. Hey, I'm down now. I'm like sinking under. I don't think they only see the top of my head.
You can come down some.
Go down. Hey, don't worry about it. Information is still gonna be good. All right, but anyway, yeah. So you know, the thing about it is, just like Mark was just talking about, he was mentioning as we were coming up in the industry, doing what was necessary. Yes, I would go and sleep on a couch if I had to help our distributors, and I'm not necessarily sleeping on couches now, but but we would do what's necessary to go over there. It's not that we could afford it, and there are some things that we're willing to do. We're still willing to roll up our sleeves and make things happen. That is what makes for a solid foundation, and it sets the right tone for your group. Because see, we always say people do more of what you do than what you say. They do more what you do than what you say. And so we want to make sure that, as we often say, lead by example. You have to lead by example. It's so important that you lead by example. And I'm just looking at what T. Gray was bringing up on the notes and what have you. Those notes are the notes, and I'm looking right here. These notes right here, these are from 2006, and all the different things that it had. The things that we work in our business were principle based. And I can tell you right now, one thing about it is, if you build a principle based organization, a principle based business, then you don't have to create anything new. See, a lot of times we think that we have to go out there and reinvent the wheel. If a round wheel works, why make it square? And so many people are too busy trying to make square wheels out there when the round wheel worked. But because it's something that you may have heard many times over, you now want to go out there and do something different or try to make it more exciting or whatever. But the principles that we teach, I can tell you, are principles that work. Otherwise, we would not have it in our system. You're going to hear some phrases, you're going to hear some things that we do, and not that we just grab things out the air and repeat, but certain things you hear are just non-negotiable, if you will, with the way we do business. I'm going to tell you this. If you're new to our system, come in and look to embrace the system. Look to embrace the system that we have, because there is a system that we have in place. There are things that we haven't been able to unpack, if you will, since we moved into the new house here by Boomerang, but there's a system. You'll see things unpacking as we go into different trainings and modules that we do that I know is going to be beneficial to you in whatever it is that you're doing, and specifically in iBoomerang. And so one of the things I can tell you, if you're brand new to what we do, you hear this phrase from time to time: don't tear down the fences until you know why they've been put up. There are certain things that we have in place that have been put up just to protect you. And to help you where you can go build a business without having to think about, all of the things in terms of creating a system. Try going to build a system yourself and creating something yourself and go build a business from scratch. It could be a very difficult task for you. And I would prefer to have something that was already in place in terms of a system, so I can plug into it, and then I can go and do the work that's necessary in order for me to benefit from that system. We often say as well, great companies are people dependent, but good companies are people dependent, but great companies are system dependent. When you look at the company of McDonald's, for an example, how in the world can they turn that company over to teenagers and the teenagers can run that operation, being managers and running the full operation? It's because they have a system in place. And so I'm not necessarily going to get into all the nuances of our system, but I'm going to give you some things that I often, and I've been trained, and many of the leaders, we have been trained and programmed over the years to pay attention to in terms of some vital signs of the business. Now, I'm not going to get into the specific training that T. Gray talked about, all of the vital signs, but there are certain things that are indicators that you should be looking for in order to build a solid business. And the goal is for you to build a solid business one time so it can pay you over and over and over again. And that's those are the things that I have been privileged to have been exposed to. And my goal is to make sure that we expose the people who are looking for that type of success. Our goal is for you to have that same experience, whether it's on a call like this, whether it's going to be at a major event that we do, which is coming up on the 22nd, or maybe it's one of the trainings like we had over in Florida with the Sapphire and Above trainings. If you could ever get to any of those trainings, these are trainings that not only take you from one level to the next in your business, but they're trainings that take you from one level to the next in your life. And I can tell you right now, many of the things that I have been able to go through. See, I tell people, more than the money that I've earned, the person that I became in the process is more valuable. And so I have gone through these things. This is not from theory. This is not what you're hearing. When you hear the leadership talking here, we're talking about things that we have gone through, tried and tested, experienced, and have received the results. And our goal is for you to be able to receive the results from what it is that we're training here. This is not just because it's the newest thing, but this is the biggest thing that we have truly ever done. And I'm going to tell you this: as I have traveled the journey of the road of success, one of the things I can tell you is every time we have gone through a transition, the business that we grew after the first business or the previous business was definitely bigger, infinitely bigger. This one, I have no doubt. See, if I go back and look at the numbers of what it is, because I'm telling you, you're talking about seasoned professionals now that are good at what they do with as a collective group of people, not guessing, but working on. I'm going to tell you this too. We paid attention in the school of life. So we were going through and we journaled these journals, these experiences and all the things that we went through. We went through those and we paid attention to it. We were in class of life and we literally paid attention. So I want you to pay attention to what's going on and let the information do to you what it's going to do to you. You're going to have to take that information in. You're going to have to take the information in and actually put it to use. You go try it. You go try and make it your own. This is our gift to you. One of the biggest things that Mr. Bugs has been saying is, I want to give back to the industry. And we've taken on that philosophy. Our philosophy is that we want to make sure that we give more to the industry than we've ever taken out. That is one of the biggest goals that we have right now, because we have benefited tremendously from this industry. And our goal right now here in this section of our lives, if you will, and from our experience, is now to give back to the industry. And now you all get a chance to be the beneficiaries of it. The biggest thing that we talked about, and I can go on and on about this, and I'm gonna get into all of the trainings and things that we talked about, but I was just going back to I'm thinking about right now, just a couple of days, we had a meeting here preparing for everybody's future, if you will, all of the tech people, all of the executives and different people coming together, and Mr. Bucks looking and put all the departments together, and all we were talking about was how the distributor's gonna do a benefit from it. And what's going to be the best thing for them. And you should have heard everybody trying to figure out, to make sure we don't let the field down. Making sure that we're on time and getting the proper customer experience and all of the things that we talked about, and making sure we redefine the technology stuff that we were doing. And just, it was all about the drivers. It was all about the customers, the iBoom customer experience and the distributors, and making sure they have things that they need in order to have success as business people and the best experience from being a customer or a user of our technology. And see, when I'm in a room like that, then I know we're on the right. It wasn't anything about how much money can I get. What's our percentage back? I don't think we ever even talked about what's the it was even never, I'm thinking about this now. I'm just thinking about this 3 days later. We never talked about what's the percentage that the company gonna get. It was how can we treat our customers. Like Mr. Bugg said, he's not creating a customer service department. He's creating a customer amazement department. And that's what we're looking at in terms of what's going on. And you all get a chance to have like I say, the beneficiaries of that. All of that experience came from, and I'm even say this now, from being with the system for 20 years. We had the system working for someone else, and nothing was wrong with that. But we were there with other companies. We had to come up. We didn't own anything. We came up in the industry like most people, joined the company, participated in it, and worked it. This time we happen to have one of the best who's ever done the industry, period, end of story, that owns the company right now. And he can drive the industry and drive the company in the direction that he's always wanted it to go. And again, as I keep saying, you get a chance to be the beneficiaries of it. And some of you all have been looking for that. Matter of fact, put in the chat, I'm the beneficiary. You go on and sign your name to the list. I am the beneficiary. You need to be the beneficiary because it's time for us to go out there and make history and change some things out here and do the industry the right way. I don't care what company out there and some companies, listen, we're gonna set the tone how to do it. We always wanted to make sure our brothers and sister companies survive. We wanna make sure that we wanna set the right tone. We wanna give the right information so we can get out there and do what's necessary for people to win. It's time for people to win like never, ever before. Like never before. So let me, if I can, I'm gonna give you a few tips on a few tips of things that we have paid attention to in order to build a big business, okay? In order to build a big business. And you're gonna see over, and I have committed myself to being here no matter what country I am, what time zone it is, we'll find a way for me to make sure that every month I'm gonna do a training, and we're setting up, Mark, myself, and some of the other team, we were putting up some things that we wanna make sure we cover, and it won't be necessarily in any order each month, but things that we know you can use and have as a part of our training system. We give you a piece every month, and I'll be more than happy to share that with you as my portion of giving back. So you need to be taking ownership. And I'll tell you this is your company, no hype. I know I can say that with every degree of confidence that I have in my body. This is your company. Wherever you are, it's your division. See, when I was building and coming up in the industry, my goal was to have a percentage of the production of the company. Where I started was I was the head of that division in my mindset. See, my division, whether I produce $1,000, $100,000, or $1 million of volume, I had a percentage of the company. And the goal for me was to incrementally increase my percentage every month. And so I would, if it was 10%, then if I was 1,000, let me be 1,100. Whatever it is, and just give me an examples. But I wanted to make sure that as a person that was a part of the company, starting with me, because I began to enroll people into the company. And as I begin to enroll people in the company, that means I have responsibility. Just like I heard T. Gray talked about it as well. He said that's the responsibility. Sponsoring is the root of responsibility. You being responsible. And some of y'all need to be more responsible sponsors. Because a lot of times I see people who are sponsoring and they sponsor people and it's like they're sponsoring people with a dollar sign on their head. You need to make sure that you're being responsible when you're sponsoring people and do things to help them move along. Find out what it is that they want to accomplish. People don't care how much. Some of us go out there and we try to sound so good and talk so smooth and we got the information ourselves and we do all this big talk and all that. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I'm not saying you need to be kumbaya with them and all of this old stuff or whatever, but you need to be responsible enough to get them on the right track in order for them to build their business as well. Did you even ask them why did they join the business? Did you know anything? Do you know if they're building it for their kids or spouse or to get out of debt, or do you know anything? Or did you just find out that you were going to get $80 for them signing up? What do you know about them? And then I'm telling you, you're gonna keep hearing us saying it. Stop chasing the commissionship. Build a friendship. Make a relationship. You're gonna hear us talk about these things. It's gonna be over and over. I'm on this marble desk or whatever this desk is, and we talk about it. If you keep dropping a drop of water on it in one spot, eventually it's gonna make an indentation. And the information is like making an indentation. We're gonna keep saying certain things that we know are critical to your success. See, we can talk about the boomerangs and we can get into all of the technical aspects of the business, and those things are great. We have it. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna tell you right now, we can go through technical things and show you all this fancy stuff right now, but until you get you right, you're not gonna see the results you want. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You can go do the work for a period of time, but if you don't go out there and get some of these things and work on you and paying attention to a few key things that we're gonna talk about here, and do this, you don't have to get it all right up front. Heck, it took me 3 years to even begin to really make money in the industry because I was so resistant to the information. I was talking to one of the distributors, I think, one of the distributors, one of the diamonds, and he was saying that, man, I wish I would have listened some time ago. Now, don't start listening now. Then when things go wrong, then you go back. If you're gonna listen and pay attention to be trained and go on to go through the process. Again, don't tear down the fences until you know why they've been put up. And so I'm making sure that I get out there and do what I have to do to give you this information so I can go through this process, go through the full process. If you're gonna make a commitment, make a full commitment. Go through the process. Some of y'all make these half or part-time or conditional commitments. Stop making conditional commitments. A commitment is a commitment. If I'm gonna get it done, we're gonna get it done. I may not understand. I don't expect for you to understand. Many of you are out here, and I'm not putting anyone down here. But at the level that's being played now, and in the experience that's there now, I had to learn this too. I couldn't expect to understand everything that I was getting from Holton Bubbs back in the day. And heck, some of it I don't understand now. Not that I'm less than, but I'm saying he's still growing. This is not just putting somebody up. He said, you don't have to put me out myself. I'm just telling you, I want to be around a leader that's growing. A leader that's not growing and stagnant in their growth is a tyrant. And I'm telling you, I want to be around someone that's growing and getting it done. And so so because there were different levels of understanding as we came up, and whoever that may be for you. And this is not just from a positional standpoint. I want to make sure I get this clear. Just because somebody in your upline don't mean they know more than you. They just got in earlier. So we need to make sure that and this is not, like I say, let's make sure we do this with the right mindset, but find your plugged in growing leader. And so sometimes people don't, and also I'm gonna say this too, this is bonus stuff. I know I got another trainer, but this is bonus stuff. I wanna tell you this too. People that are in the upline, don't block access to your team when you know you can't give them what they need. That's gonna cost you more money than anything. You plan upline, this is not, I had to accept that in the beginning that I had to learn some new things in order for me to have the type of success. And so I had to watch for a little while, and then I implemented. But I was eager to learn it, and I got my ego out of the way. And as we say, your ego will stand between you and your bank account. I didn't hit executive director or senior director or director and say, you know what, you need to recognize me. You know, Sapphire is the first level of leadership, Pen, but that's the first level. That don't mean you stop growing. So I always have stayed in a learning mode. Sometimes people think because I'm quiet that I'm soft. Don't get that confused. Because I've learned the success principle. Successful people dominate the listening. Unsuccessful people dominate the talking. And so when you're so busy talking, trying to impress people, you're going to miss the lesson that you need to learn. So a lot of times I know, but I'm listening because I need to be able to figure out what's going on in the room. I need to be able to figure out how, if I'm dealing with prospects, let me listen to them because people love to hear themselves talk. So I let them talk and they tell me everything I need to know on the prospect side of things. And in any form or fashion, I'm doing the listening. We had a group of people, and I know on yesterday they came by with Super E. Mr. Emmanuel Bernstein came by, and we had a couple of guys, incredible guys that are out there doing some things. We asked the question, they did the talking, I did the listening. I mean, they did the talking, I did the listening. We did the listening. We wanted to know, you know. In many cases, I don't let people interrupt my presentation. In this case, it was a different flow. You gotta know when to do certain things. So pay attention to what's going on to your environment. Pay attention to how leaders are doing it. And sometimes you have to get yourself around the right people. And that's what I'm saying. Just because you are in a position of being above some people, you may not, you can do it respectfully, but then we'll teach that at some point in time. Man, I got so much that I want to give you right now, but we don't have but a short time to give it. But make sure you get yourself ready to receive the information and implement the information so that you can grow the biggest business possible. You got to remember, our goal right now is to break the records in the industry. Now, your record breaking may not be the next person record breaking, but you going from not making money in the industry to making $1,000 a week could be a record breaking and impactful thing to you. And that's just as important as anybody that's making whatever number it may be per month or per week. And our goal is to help you and make sure that we still provide the environment for the fish and the elephants to win, because we definitely the monkeys are gonna, as we say, the monkeys, if you heard the term, the monkeys are gonna do what they're gonna do anyway. So the things that I'm gonna give you today are things that's I know for a fact that I'm gonna give you the consciousness. My goal is to give you a conscious interrupt. I want you to have the notes so you can always reflect. I wanna give you some things that you can track and pay attention to or grow to. This is not going to be so high level, but there are things that you need to be at least consciously aware of, so now you can go out there and pay attention. Right now, I can say, you know, white Mercedes, white Mercedes, white Mercedes, you know, I do from time. We weren't thinking about white Mercedeses, but because I gave you a conscious interrupt, you're going to go out there and ride, you probably see white Mercedes everywhere. Well, the information and what we're going to do today is for me to give you that awareness so you can know exactly what it is that you're looking for. Let me see if I can get the slides up here on what's going on. Man, that's a cool, it's me. Oh man, that's pretty cool. What a team. Indicators. All right. You know what a team. I'll just leave it there. All right. Hey, do y'all like the slide? That's like me teaching you right now, right? So cool to have that. Indicators of a healthy business. Let's talk about some of those things here. Some of these topics I'm going to talk about are going to be topics that some of you all have heard. But if you're not getting the type of results that you desire and want, then you probably need to go back and revisit it, re-implement it. As a matter of fact, as I keep saying, and I say, we are the only animals that can mess it up in our lives and start all over again from scratch. not many animals that I know on the planet can go back, do something one time, and go redo it like we do it. So we are very unique and privileged to be on this planet as a living soul and have the abilities that we have. And many of you all have those abilities and you squander the opportunity of being able to go back and redo certain things. And sometimes we have to, this is a subset. You heard this before. I trained this before on some of the things that you do for changes and that you have to do. 3 things. I'm going to give you another subset. Acknowledge. In your life, sometimes you have to acknowledge things of where they are. Accept. We can get this is a whole nother training we can get to, but these are conditions of change. You have to be able to accept what it is that you see. Once you acknowledge it, accept it. Some people acknowledge it, they see it, but they don't accept it, and they ignore it. Then you go back through and recondition. I don't care what level you are, you should have a room for growth. The biggest room in the world is the room for growth. And most people don't utilize that room. They use a small portion of that room. That's the biggest room in the world, room for growth. Utilize that. So things that I look for, am I changing this? So number 1, how many twos are flowing and being used in your team? How many twos are flowing and being used in your team? See, some time ago, we used to have physical CDs and DVDs and all of that stuff, but technology has changed things and we don't have to have as many physical items as we used to. And so now there are other tools that we have, in particular in our company, and you're gonna see us looking at the tools that we have. One of the biggest tools that we have that you can utilize is your I Decide, for an example, okay? That's a tool. How many I Decides do you have going out personally? And how many I Decides do you have going through your team? See, those are methods of exposure. See, as we break down the calendar, you have the massive exposure, massive sponsoring, massive volume. You hear those terms. You heard the training of the calendar. But when you look at massive exposure, which was the 1st through the 10th, that's the time that we said. That doesn't mean that you don't expose through the remaining part of the month, but massive exposure takes place, and utilizing the I Decide is something that you can use as a tool that you have, okay? Am I clicking this?
Nope, let me get you there.
Okay. And the other thing is the calendar. I am not going to stop talking about the calendar. I'm not going to break it down. We've trained on it, but I'm telling you, I was talking to Sunday Chandler. We did a counseling session, and Jackie Pippins. I talk to Jackie Pippins every day. Jackie Pippins and that team, they are in the hunt. Telling you right now, they're in the hunt. And I'm talking to him. I'm going over the calendar with him, and I was talking to Thomas and Annie and Alex and that team they have over there, and Alex and Crystal and all of them. And we broke down the calendars, and we did a group training. I'll say private, but a group training, because they said, can you speak to my team for me? Because we've never had this type of training. We had calendars. We understood how to do a calendar, but we didn't understand how to do it like you all have it here. I wish we would have known this stuff. And see, some of y'all are hearing and you're like, I've seen calendars before. Okay. You remember I said, don't tear down the fences until you know why they've been put up? Everything that we do is on purpose. We have a purpose-driven organization. We have a principle-based organization. It is on purpose. The presentation, there's a purpose to it. Oh, I wish I could get into the presentation training. But I am going to do a presentation training. You can put that down. I'm going to show you what you need to cover in the presentation. I'm just going to call out something. Subsets. When I do a presentation, you want to establish that the company is solid. This is bonus. You want to establish that the company is solid. Can I do it? Can the person you talk to, can they do it? Can I make money? Can they actually make money? Hey, so is the company solid? So you need to always have your story, establish that the company is solid, that they can do it, and that they can make money. And I'm telling you, if you can do just those things, no particular order, but in some form or fashion, when you're giving a presentation, if you do that, people will get in because now they believe in the company. And then I'm sorry, I missed one other thing. Does the product work? Is the company solid? Does the product work? Can I do it? And can I make money? That's a side note. I'll break those down too. That's a whole training by itself. See, there's an art to what we do. You don't see it. See, that's why it's an art. Sometimes you don't see the artistry and the art. But there's a purpose to everything that we do. So I'm not just frivolously doing presentations. When I give a boomerang out or send an I decide, I'm just not sending an I decide. I'm sending an I decide with the purpose. I'm sending a boomerang and I've already set it up properly so they're eagerly waiting to receive it. And see, if you do this right, it's not anything fancy, but I know the value of what it is that I have. You need to know the value of you. Some of y'all are undervaluing yourselves. You're undervaluing the opportunity. Oh, you say, oh, these just boomerang. No, listen, if you know the value, knew the potential value, because you can't really put a full price tag on what you can receive over a period of time from one boomerang. You know, we have people, if you take my 35-cent personal 35-cent story of me giving out a boomerang to somebody's $1,600 experience that they're going to make from one boomerang, it's still a value to it because now that person who's utilizing it could utilize it again. There's no limit to how many times they can use it. There's no limit to how many years they can use it. You all are undervaluing the product that you have, and the product works. So how many boomerangs do you have going out? That's a tool. How many I decides do you have going out? That's a tool. How many calendars do I have going through my group? And I'm saying, and when we teach the calendar, we're not teaching we're not teaching the max that you can do. Because there's more to what you can do, and we just give you a base of 4 meetings a week, 4 times, 4 weeks out the month, and looking for 1,000 of volume. You heard the training that we do, and you can go back and listen to the calendar training, but we give you a base of what takes place. But when you're in the hunt, like Johnny Wimmery, and when you're in the hunt like a Jex, I'm still considering that Jamaica trip next week. But anyway, that's another side note. But these guys are crushing it. When you look at Cesar and all of them, I heard it. Cesar, if you look at his schedule or what's taking place right now, Cesar is in the hunt. Avinash over in London. Esteban, Rodolfo, they're getting it done right now. So many people out there. I was talking to Peter Hurst. He hit me last night. Him and Karen on the road doing multiple things, serving the company from the Boom Foundation standpoint and all of that stuff, but they're paying attention. Peter said, I'm ready. He told Mr. Buggs the other day, I'm ready to take it. I'm building a new group along with what I have right now, and we're gonna do exactly what the system is requiring us to do. Exactly what's taking place. I'm seeing Sam Bean out there making it happen. That's what Sam Bean does. That's what he's going to do. He's been a part of the system. He better go and do it. You know, Super E, like I said, came by with people over there. Talked to Tommy Johnson. You know what? Sometimes we have the tough talk. If you ever get a chance to have a good relationship with your upline sponsor, you need to do that and respect that relationship. But sometimes Tommy Johnson and I have those tough talks. He go out there and say, Coach, I appreciate it. He get his understanding and he go and implement it. One thing I like about it is once we get those talks out of the way, he goes and implement it and gets the results out of it. He and that team are rocking. See, these are things, but they're paying attention to what we're showing them to do. These are some of the diamonds. And guess what? Brand new people that's coming up, you can do this too. Start somewhere. You don't have to start it. Neither one of us started at the top. Matter of fact, I give you this. When I started in the company, when I began to do iBoomerang, I shut down mentally of who I used to be because I was going to be better than that person. So I shut that down mentally. I shut that down physically from the environment standpoint. I didn't want to see anything about who I used to be. I had a guy that wanted to have a meeting with me. He came down with a briefcase of all the clippings of who he used to be. Stop reading your own press. I'm telling you right now, you got to get out of that. Stop reading your own press. One of my favorite sayings that I got, and I'm taking it on as my own, listen, an editorial is always better than an ad. Let somebody else talk about you. More than someone else talking about you, let the printout talk about you. The proof is in the printout. What did the numbers say? From your efforts, from you paying attention, from you giving out the boomerangs, from you giving out the I-Decides, from you working the calendar. What did the printout say? And if you're not getting the type of results that you wanted, did you go back and ask for a counseling session with your coach? Sometimes I do have people that do that. And many times, hey, listen, coach, got to talk to you. You know, Ronell calls up. Hey, man, I need to get some time on your schedule. I know you're busy. He's not going to let me rest until I get to him. There's certain people, they're going to follow the system. And they're gonna reach out, and I'm gonna find the time to make it happen. I can't get to all the people all the time, but I'm gonna get to you at some time because we're running a company. We have our fiduciary duties to the company because you need a company, but also to the field. And there's a balance that we have to have. But right now, if you're a distributor and you have the liberty to go out there and just work, go build. I'm gonna tell you this too, and I'm gonna move to the next subject. We was in the meeting. I know I'm talking about Mr. Bugs again on this one. And he was sitting there going through all of the decisions and all that stuff. He looked around and said, man, can I just go back to the field and build? The CEO, I know him. I've been knowing him for years. He would rather be out there in the field crushing it, making it happen, working the calendar. He's working the calendar on a different level now because somebody has to go in and build the road and pavement ahead of us. And that's what he's doing, painting the vision, putting things ahead of us. So all we have to do is follow the path of success that's being laid out by the people that have our best interests at heart. And so if you have that privilege, listen, if you have the privilege of running a market yourself, did you start from a small meeting in the home or start from 101s and go to bigger meetings and let it go? Go take on a market. Find your market share. Start with your calendar. Get into the living rooms and dens. You know, I was did a good party this week here, and I know Daniel and Toledo was sending out their stuff as well. I'm back in the. It's not always about who's in front of the room doing big meetings. You're gonna get that at some point in time. But any one of you all today, I don't care what your level of success is. You can open up a living room or den, a small meeting room. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you go and open the trunk of your car and do something. Do something and start small. Start somewhere. Don't wait. It may not be perfect, but make sure, you got to remember, if everybody think they're going to build a business, they have to go out there and be a big time speaker and someone that can do a big meeting and draw a big crowd. If that's what they think they're going to have to do, they're not going to do it. Personally, I don't care to speak in front of the big room. Personally, I don't. It's still a very uncomfortable thing for me. But I got tired of being broke. So the discomfort of being broke was tougher. So I decided to go out there and start speaking in front of the room. I didn't want to have that situation of having someone else to control me. So I wanted to follow the steps that they were giving me. And I said, listen, if it's not going to work, which that wasn't an option for me, but if it wasn't going to work, it wasn't going to be on me, because I'm going to follow exactly what it is that they say. I'm going to do 100% of the work. I'm going to follow. I'm going to make my adjustments. I'm going to accept that if I'm not up to par right now myself, that I have to accept this is who I am. It's okay. Now I can go back and correct it. The other thing is, we can correct activity, but we cannot correct inactivity. You have to go do something. Pay attention to your results. Talk to your counsel with your upline, and let us help you build a big business. Okay. Let's talk about some other things here. Okay. Man, I'm getting fired up in here. Have some water right now. I hope you're getting it. I hope you all are getting it. You ready? Here's a bonus. I've been giving you all a lot of bonuses. Somebody say preach. Amen. Your income growth will never exceed your personal growth. Never. Your income growth, it's not going to happen. I'm going to be upfront with you. You can say it and do what you want, but it will never exceed. That's why I continue to grow. You remember I said a leader that's stagnant or who refuses to grow is a tyrant. Pay attention to some of the people that call themselves leaders anywhere. If you don't see them growing and they don't repeat, or they sound like they stuck in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, if that's what you're hearing, you have Houston, we have a problem. And I'm serious. I wanted to grow. I adopted some philosophies from my coach. You got a coach. You may have a different coach, but y'all get a chance to be indirectly coached by certain people. I've gotten coaching, if you will, indirectly from people through books and audios and things of that nature. But this one thing that I said that I took on as my own. The person that I'm competing with is not my neighbor. It's not somebody else in the company. It's not somebody else in another company. It's the person that I'm going to be in the future. I have mentally designed who I'm going to be. I adopted that from my mentor, my coach, and friend, HB. I'm competing with him. And I can tell you right now, I am not the same person I used to be. I'm proud to say it. You know, I don't speak the same. I don't walk the same. I don't look the same. It's totally different. We were laughing the other day. All of us look different. I can tell you this now, because I brought some old pictures of a training. MK, T. Gray, HB, all of us, we looking at that training. We looking like, wow, that's us. Put those pictures up. But we were going through a boot camp that HB was doing at that time. And I never forget, I remember that boot camp that we went through, but we were going through the personal development, the things that I'm teaching you on right now, you know. And one of the things I did was I fell in love. You know, I took this as well. I have two addictions. if you will. You can call it good or bad. I'm addicted to residual income and personal development. I have to have it. So some people are addicted to Coca-Colas or ice cream, or food, whatever. I just happen to like residual income. It just does something to me. It makes me happy. I am addicted to personal development. I like going through the process of growing and development. Here's the thing. I said as a bonus too. So why is it a tool? Well, when is the last time you recommended a book or an audio to someone? What personal development do you have going through your group? See, that's a tool too. That's an untalked about tool, or tool that you don't feel or it's not a tangible necessary tool. It could be tangible if you're talking about handing a book. See, I can tell you another tool here for us. Mr. Bugs we gift each other books. The best gift you can give to anyone is a book. One of them is a book with no words, and that's a journal, just like T. Gray took and made it his own. This is his own book. It started with nothing. Give them a journal and some other personal development book. But Mr. Bug came in, I know a month or so ago, I went into the office and I made sure everybody had a book that I found was a good, beneficial book from somebody that's credible. Mr. Bugs last week did the same thing. All of us have this book. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you have enough personal development going through your group, some of the issues you having right now, you probably won't have it. Many of y'all are having more issues because your mindset is in the wrong place. I'm giving it to you real here. This is for you and your team. This is not to beat up anybody. I just want to give it to you real where you can get what you need. See, I know I can spot a team that's growing because they're going to be talking about different stuff every time I see them. They're not going to do it to impress you, but you can hear personal development. You can hear a group that's growing. Their thought pattern is different. You know, you may have heard them speak in a certain way and not necessarily the language or the word, but it's something about hearing from a person or a group that's growing. And that's another tool. Let me I got to keep going. I know we run hit just tools you can use. I just threw some books up there. You know, all of these books are books that I went through. Master Key to Riches. We did a study on Master Key to Riches. A one-year study on Master Key to Riches. We used to have to do a report every Monday. I think that was Monday, every Monday or so, but once a week. We talk, and each one of us on that call would report, do a report of what we had to read for that in that book. You start doing this, you begin to do these type of things in your group. See, you didn't hear me talk. I talked about boomerangs and all that stuff. I'm gonna give you a few numbers that you can jot down, but I'm telling you right now, some of y'all have your priorities out of order. See, we're trying to grow a big business, but you're gonna have to walk and chew bubble gum at the same time, literally, with this. Put personal growth first, then a lot of the pieces that you feel you're missing will begin to fall in place. You won't even know where they come from, but this is gonna be like adding oil to a car. No oil in the car, the engine doesn't run. Personal development is like a fine oil running through the engine of your car. This is your success engine. Master Key to Riches, Think and Grow Rich, Skills with People. Some of you all need to read Skills with People right now today. Because your skills with work, you gotta remember, people are our business. If you don't understand a little bit about them, not being an expert, but if you don't understand a little bit about people, you're probably not gonna make any money from it. Now you can hide behind the computer and you can do all that stuff, and that's fine. But you still have to have some type of communication with them, but have skills with people. One of the biggest books we talk about, the parable of the pipeline. You know, how many people, you know, that goes back to the twos. How many I decides do you have going through your group? You know, how many boomerangs, see, the pipeline should always have somebody going through the process of being exposed. And so all these things, speed wealth, the richest man in Babylon, get your money right. That's all part of what we do. That's who we are. We just different, but we talk about getting out of debt. John C. Maxwell, 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. You need to do this. You need to be able to lead. First of all, learn how to lead yourself. There's another one, developing the leader within you. Some of you all are too busy trying to develop other people when you need to develop yourself. So take time for yourself for a minute, refuel you before you try to lead somebody else. And so get those things done, okay? Am I clicking? Mm-hmm. Somebody goes, oh, mark you off the chart. Now, this is selfless, shameless promotion.
No, it isn't, because I'm the one that put it there.
I didn't do this. But anyway, you do have permission to succeed, right? You do have it. Now, these are things, listen, this is not, I'm not here about, it's not about me, seriously. But I didn't put a book out until I had made over $1 million in this industry, period. I didn't write a book to make money. Hell, the heck out of giving many of them away. Because I want people to have the information. And I know these are things that I live by and what made the difference for me. And so, so this, I don't care who, start somewhere, begin somewhere, okay? Here goes, number 2, okay? Number 2. Huh?
I didn't mean to do that.
What'd you do?
Did you do it?
I did it.
Oh.
I did it. All right. How many people are STPing, which means sharing the plan and working the calendar? These are numbers you need to pay attention. I talked about what it is, but STP, and T. Gray did an excellent job last week talking about STP. STP is showing the plan, sharing the product. The product is the boomerang. The product now is our vibe, as we have vibe for Florida and Texas and other areas going around the U.S. and then eventually around the world. But right now we're talking about the STP of showing the plan. Now, and working the calendar. So I am paying attention to that number. I want to know how many people do I have actually out there making this happen. You should pay attention to it. Do you have one? Well, first of all, are you showing the plan? Are you leading by example? Are you out there telling people? Are you being a manager right now? You need to handle your affairs, if you will, in terms of your business and be able to pay attention to that, your business affairs, but you also need to be showing and leading by example. When is the last time, how many plants do you have? See, I was talking to them, give you another thing on Jackie Pippins I was talking to. They have a little deal they're doing amongst each other. And they have a commitment to do 2 STPs a day. And it's a contest they have. And if you miss any day of showing the plan twice, and you have to be accountable and have proof you showed the plan, you're going to be out this contest. We have people that are canceling their trips because they don't want to miss showing the plan. See, when you have that type of commitment and people doing that type of exposure at work, I'm telling you right now, and you layer personal development on top of this, if there are any challenges, I'm not saying we have any, you won't even see them because your production will always outwork the challenges. And if you just just follow the system. Follow the system, okay? So when I say STPing, let's give you some things of what's going on, what I pay attention to. You show me a group that has the most people, you have people showing the plan, I can go in the printout and show it and prove to you, because the proof is in the printout, I can prove to you of the volume that they're going to generate just from the exposures that they have, because they're working with a purpose. when you layer the things what I talk about how to show the presentation and things to cover. So you're not going to show a presentation just because. You're showing the presentation with a purpose. See, when I break down the calendar, when I showed this to Thomas and Alex and all of those guys over there, Abdi and over in France, I was with George and all those guys, and I showed them what to watch out for. When I broke down the numbers with Tommy and said, Tommy, listen, we need to look at how much volume needs to be accomplished per month. I don't care if it's going director. I did that one Sunday again. Sunday I said, what PM level does this person need to do? Well, that's all the volume they need a day. She said, wow, I didn't think about it like that. Take it a little piece at a time. That's a little piece at a time. But this will allow you to track exactly how you get there. I'm giving you the roadmap and the steps that we take. This is what I do every day. I don't do anything fancy. How do we have the success that we have? Is we do a little bit at a time. We follow the maps. We pay attention to the numbers. We make sure that, and I love talking to the people that out there. I like talking, I call them my warriors. I like talking to the warriors who go out there on the battlefield, and the battlefields are the living rooms and the dens and doing the Zoom calls and all the things that then they come off the battle. Hey, listen, let me tell you what we did. We have 100 people on the call. Let me tell you what I did. I had 5 people at the meeting. I had such and such, and they coming back and they talking about it. Let me tell, hey, can I get you on the next one? Can you do some closing parties? Can you do? And they're working with the upline and all of that stuff. And I can see them. Some of them have the war wounds on them. They come back and say, you know what? We thought we were going to have 20 people there, but only 10 showed up. And I said, don't worry about the 10 that didn't show up. That's their loss. Let's focus on the 10 that's there. Oh, I didn't think about it like that. See, that's because you're counseling. A lot of y'all are winning, but you think you're losing because you're counseling yourselves. I heard that a person that counsel themselves has a fool for a counsel. I decided not to be a fool, so that's why I counseled with somebody that knew more than me. Let's keep going. Is it on me?
Yes, sir.
How many calendars are running through your group? You're gonna hear me say it again. I'm not gonna stop talking about it. If you even take some time to read what's in there and how to set up your meetings, some of y'all will be infinitely better in production if you follow what's there. It's all thought out. Take some of those things and fill out what's in there. I know this is some of your first time ever seeing the calendar. And I'm talking about the ones that already have the calendar. You probably never even opened it. But this is what it looks like. I wanted to purposely put it up on the screen so you can see it. So you can see it again. I'm not going to do a calendar training, but I'm telling you, try to travel, make it, if you made a plan to go from your home, wherever you live, to New Orleans, driving, or from your home to California, I don't know where you live, driving, and do you just get in the car and start driving and just hope you end up in New Orleans or California? Or do you map it out or use some type of guidance system on your phone or something? You have to have some type of guidance system in order to get you there. And this is why we draw the groups out. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this as well. Don't go to your sponsor or your plugged in upline or your coach, and definitely not me, without having your group drawn out for a counseling session. I'm not gonna even accept the call. It's probably gonna be a 10-second call even if I pick up, because first of all, the calendar should have already the drawing out of your group should have come to me. I don't care if it's 1 or 2 people on there or 200 key people, but we'll talk about that. But I want to show you how to pay attention as you're growing, because many of you all are here to make some money and building your business. So that's on a building side of things. So here it goes. You with the calendar, or it's potentially 16,000 in volume. Based on your own efforts, you can drive Sapphire. You plus 2. We got to remember, you and 2 others, that's 3 people generating 16,000. Where's the 16 coming from? Remember, you have a goal to have 1,000 of volume per meeting, 4 times a week, 4 weeks a month. 4,000 of volume times 4, 16,000 potential volume. If you're paying attention to this, you can structure out getting yourself to Sapphire. Some of you all may have to do more meetings to accomplish this. See, for me, I had to do more meetings than what was required. I'm not as good as a speaker as I call him JW, but as Johnny Wimber. That's not what I do. I'm not as good a speaker and orator as a T. Gray. I'm not as buffed as Mark Kipcart. But I can tell you this, they're going to have a job trying to outwork me. What I lacked in skill, I made up in number. And I'm telling you right now, don't try to be anybody else. Be the best you. You can make it up in the number. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep pitching. Keep hitting. Keep swinging. Keep showing the plan. Keep going through the nose. Eventually, listen, you can't show the wrong plan to the right person. And what I mean by that, even if you mess it up and what you may think it may be messed up, if the right person is looking, they'll see through it. The other thing is, the information that we have in place is already thought out. You just need to show it to them and present it or whatever. But guess what? They don't know what's right or wrong. They don't know it didn't sound like this when you heard it from your sponsor or the person that said it. You don't have to do it in this fancy way. Just do it. Some of y'all need to listen to a speaker that I sometimes go back to, Art Williams, and there's a thing that says, just do it. Just do it. Go look it up on YouTube. You don't have to buy it. Just listen to him talk about just do it. I'm telling you right now, just go do it. Well, I messed up. Go do it. You really need to do it. Just keep doing it. I messed up again. Do it again. Go back and do it. Just do it and do it and do it. And I'm telling you, if you do it long enough, see, repetition is the mother of all skills. The more you do it, and the better you have a chance to get. Remember, I said we can correct activity, but we cannot correct inactivity. Just do it. You plus 4. That's a Ruby business. So some of y'all are gonna be looking for all these people. No, find 4 people with a dream. 4 people that is willing to do the work. In your group, you'll grow. It may not be your personals. It may be somebody that's let. Also, I'm gonna give you this too. The success that you may have in your group may be down in depth from below somebody that you sponsor. So some of y'all need to pay attention to and being a good talent scout, paying attention to people who are ready and take them to your leader. So all of these different things that you have, okay? All these different things you have. So you plus 12. You plus 12. Okay? It's diamond. That's $200,000 of volume coming through you collectively through your team. It's not you by yourself. So I'm giving you pick where you want it to be. You pick where you want it to be. And so this is things that you can pay attention to. I'm always looking for that. Here's another one, number 3. How many new active customers are you gaining each month? How many new active customers are you gaining each month? You can't put a price tag on the value of one customer. I wanted to make sure, and I'm going through it, and I have to go through it. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm being upfront. I've been building more on building the business and enrolling people and helping other people grow. But I'm going back through to make sure I tighten up on my own personal customer base. I'm being accountable to that. I have customers, but I need to be in the boom 500. I'm going to be in the boom 1,000. I'm not going to let you all outproduce me. So I'm accountable to it. I'm going to do what I got to do because listen, My little story, my first 35 cents that I gained from giving away a customer, I'm fired up about it because I know the system work, I know the program work, and I know what we're going to be able to do with those customers. See, any one of y'all, when I saw that I made my first 35 cents from one of my customers, I knew that anyone, even if they were shy at presenting, if they would go out there and do the work and give out the sites, they can go build a big business over a period of time. And so how many customers that you have going through your group? Here's some things that I'm going to suggest. Have a calling party for your customers. And what do I mean by calling party? Some of y'all need to get together and just say, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have some fun. You can go get some snacks or pizza, whatever you want to do, and come together and get your potential customer list. This is just one thing. This is one part of the business. Just take a customer acquisition day. Make it a customer acquisition day. And you all get together and make some calls or send some messages out, like we tell you, to have that interaction with those persons that you're going to send this your boomerangs to, and let them know what they're going to get, and you all look to acquire those customers. And I'm telling you, this is the foundation of building a solid business. Distributors and customers are the foundation of building a solid business. And maybe do a calling party for that. You can do a calling party for inviting. You know, get in a room with a few people, and if you're going to do a meeting on Tuesday, see if you're local enough, if you can do something on a Sunday or even that Monday or whatever, and you just begin to call and invite, and that helped us out, because I never forget being in a room and we were doing the calling parties, and we would hear people, they wanted us to hear them do their invite, and that's how we got good at inviting, because we would hear each other and we would help critique, give constructive criticism of what it was they were saying to help them and empower our people, so they became beasts at inviting. They felt really comfortable because they had their counterparts in the room and co-people that were with them, and they were encouraging. They went back and made it again, and they fell off, and I should have said this. Okay, say it the next time. And I'm telling you, something about having that synergy in the room, and it built the relationships. See, these are things that some of y'all need to do right now. But go on and build your customer base. Okay, build your customer base with this. Have an accountability system. Don't wait on the company's technology to build your business. Oh, we're going to do our part. But you need to do your part too. What if technology was down for a little while? You shouldn't be lost because technology may be down. That could be in anything you do. So I'm paying attention to it, of what's going on. I'm just giving you little things that you can do. So pay attention to what's going on. Don't wait on the company's technology. Even though we're going to do it, it's going to get better every day, every week, every month. We're better than we were when we started in March of 2019. We're going to get better this year. Okay? Use your own accountability system. Have something that you can track. And what I would normally do, I would make sure that the key people that I have identified, you need to make sure that they send their numbers to you. Maybe give a little, because they've been accountable to you, so you can know now, out of the key people that you're working with, how many customers they have added, how many meetings they have done. See, that's having the accountability amongst each other. So you want to do that. Put reminders in your calendar or in your phone. Okay? Put reminders in your calendar in your phone. Utilize the tools that you have to build it. So put reminders in there so you can now see how to have the accountability. Maybe you do it once a day and reporting to each other and keeping each other accountable. That's how you keep business flowing and rolling in your business as well. Having an accountability partner. Okay? So who are you being accountable to and with? Is it your upline? You can be accountable to them. You can be accountable to your success team. They can hold your feet to the fire as well. You know, so make sure you get those out. Here's another one. How many ambassadors are you adding to your team each month? How many ambassadors are you adding to your team this month? In the beginning, I want you to work on 10 and 2. Get 10 customers plus your first 2. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get it out the way like yesterday. See, that's the beginning. That's going on and find the right people, and you set your meeting up and you do what it is that you have to do. Send your ID sides out, do your own private good party. But how many ambassadors? I wanted to make sure that I followed the plan to be able to monitor how many ambassadors that I had coming into my business. Now, I'm going to give you something here that gives you an ideal, the ideal of what you should be looking for over a period of time in your business, okay? This is just something for the future, depends on where you are, but just some numbers that I've learned to have here based on the rankings that you have here. So I knew when I was going to Sapphire what I was looking for. And some of y'all are going from brand new to Sapphire, you're going from director to Sapphire, you're going from executive director to Sapphire, whatever it may be, but I knew I had to have about 25 to 35 people coming in business that month. And some of this is going to help you because I'm going to tell you this. You will have attrition that takes place. You're going to have people that fall out of the business. They may not be qualified, but I always wanted to not have more people going out the back door than coming in the front door. But I also have to be realistic to know that everybody is not going to stay in business. Some people are going to buy on emotion. They're going to get excited, and then life is going to happen, and it is what it is. But I wanted to have new people in place, and I also always remember the group that gets you to one level won't be the group that gets you to the next. You got to remember, the group that gets you to one level won't be the group that gets you to the next. Your group should always be evolving. It should always grow. So how many people do you have collectively coming into your business at that level? How many people do you actually have coming in? Here's something else. I know it's going to be about 50 to 75 people every week. Per month as a group, because they're going to be sponsored. You're going to have different people that's focused on whatever. And like I said, just give me some things so you can have, I want people ready. We're grooming you for a major explosion. Hopefully you're ready. Matter of fact, if you're there now and you hear me, say, I'm ready. I'm ready for a major explosion right now. I'm ready. You got to claim it. You have to claim it. So are you ready? You should be ready. Emerald, about 150 to 175 per month. You're going to have that coming in as a collective group. These are things that I know you're going to have on a monthly basis. And at the pinnacle of it, I say the pinnacle, the next biggest ranking, you're going to have about 300, 375. Coming in. It's going to happen as a team because you're growing a group, you're growing a business. It's going to happen. And these are things that I want you to get ready to understand what's taking place. So wherever you are here, you have a plan of action that we're going to put in place, and you'll see exactly what it is that we need to do. Here's the last one here. How many ambassadors do you have attending events? How many ambassadors do you have attending events? All major decisions to build a big business happen at a major event. I'm telling you right now, I never missed an event that I qualified to attend. I never missed it. And I am suggesting that you get there and don't announce events, promote events. Many of us just, oh, there's an event coming. No. You promote it like you the Don King or Don Kingette of promotion. And you can't over promote. There's no such thing as over promoting an event. There's a such thing as under promoting, but there's no such thing as over promoting an event. This is so critical for you to have the type of success that you want. See, it's only so much you can do yourself when it comes down to motivating and moving and pushing the team, you by yourself. There's no way that you can impact a person in the way that a major event can do. That's why I make sure that I go all out when it comes down to promoting for events. Well, you say, what events are important? Well, I'm going to tell you, we talk about major events, but the next event is the most important event. The next event is the most important event. Okay? Let me show you here. Sorry. Events are designed to set the speed and the environment for your group. Okay? Then you heard us say we didn't create the success of all the people. Mr. Bucks often say he didn't create the success of the people, he created an environment. One thing you're going to get is the environment. But if you want to add a supercharger group from growing, add the speed to it. And the speed will be added, add an event, and that's going to supercharge the speed of growth that you have in your group. It's nothing like having a bunch of your team and a certain number of your team that's there getting the same information, the same impact that you're getting. You can't come back home and give that to anybody. So that's why you go out there and you make sure you promote like you've never promoted before to get that team there. And events are designed to set the speed and set the environment for your group, okay? Build your business from event to event. From event to event, okay? Build it from event to event. And so here's some of the things that we have here on this. No, I got the wrong one. I missed my other one. All right, the different events that you have. Local event. Your local event is important. So, but you start with home meetings. That's an event. Start with home meetings. And you go from home meetings to the local meeting. See, you need to support the local meeting. When you're there with a guest, you need that local meeting to work for you. When you're there without a guest, the meeting needs you. You need to be at the local meetings and supporting and growing the local meetings. And when you go from local meetings, there are regional meetings. There are regional events that you have, regional trainings and things that you have of that nature. Go on and make sure that's the next event that you have. Then you have national events. Okay? We got a big national event that's going to take place, and then we have international events that take place. See, when we were over in Mexico during Decide, that was a national event for Latin America. We got the Gold Diamond training that we're going to have coming up later on during the summer. We have Accelerate that's happening right now. That's really the international. Some people are going to come internationally for that event. And I'm not going to announce it, I'm going to promote it because I know the ones who have the most people there are going to have the most impact. And we're gonna set the environment. It's gonna set the tone. It's gonna set the speed. It's gonna make things happen for you like you've never had happen before. So I want you to utilize the tools and the systems that we have in place. I know some of y'all may not have all of the understanding of the nuances of it, and that's okay. But as I mentioned before, just do it. All you have to do is just do it. We'll figure it all out. We'll sort through it. We'll make it happen together. Do your counseling with your upline sponsor or your upline coach or mentor or whoever it may be, and work with them and let them do their part to help navigate you on this road here. And so all the things that I talked about that we highlighted today, various things that we talked about, from knowing how many people you have at events, to how many customers that you have, to how many active people you have coming into your group, and how many tools that you have flowing through your business. And all of those things, these are key indicators to a healthy business. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I wanted to share with you all today. Just some things to highlight and give you that conscious interrupt. We're right now on a major mission for that we have in this company to benefit people all over the world, and we want to make sure that you truly benefit from the efforts that have been put out from the top, which is our CEO, through our executives, and all of the people who are contributing around the world. Let's go out here and make this thing happen, because it's your turn, as I always say, and it's your time. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate each and every one of you all. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. T. Gray and Mr. Mark Kitcart. Appreciate you guys, man. Woo. So hope you all benefit from it.
Wow, that was phenomenal.
Thank you, Mark.
Absolutely incredible.
All right, I'm getting out the way.
Hey, everybody, what an incredible training by our global master ambassador. I mean, I was sending messages to people saying, I really hope that you are appreciating what you're getting right now, because you're getting this high quality training that creates success right from, the horse's mouth, right from the mentor of mentors, right? So I really hope that people really got that.
Yeah. So, just one of the things, only one, the thing that stood out to me was, as Mr. Haynes was speaking, he said, there's a lot of things that I can point back to, a lot of things that I've done, but he said, it's not the money. He said, it's the person I've become in the process.
Right.
And, again, he is a lifelong learner. I see him come in here, he's got a book tucked under his arm, and he's buying us books all the time. So, yep. And I know that I talk about podcasts sometimes. Oh man, he goes, send me that podcast. And so he's thirsty for knowledge, and he's always growing. And where did he learn that from? Mr. Holton Buggs. Because, I remember seeing, Edwin and Mr. Haynes and Mr. Buggs, and meeting them 17 years ago. And I can tell you now, they are not the same people. Far from it. And they're people that I want to be around. And, when I was not doing network marketing for a period of time, I missed it. I missed what it was that they, what they had talked about, and who they were, and why I was getting the growth I was getting, and how I was having success even in the corporate world based on the training that I got from them. So I missed it, and thank God I am back in, and it's been a year now. So it's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I got to just piggyback on that, because every time I hear our global master ambassador speak, whether he's doing a meeting, even the meeting that he was doing here in the office yesterday, I'm just sitting there and I say the same thing to him, and he always thinks I'm joking, but I'm not. I say, who are you? Like really, it's just amazing, just the level of personal growth and the evolution that he has done, just for himself. And so I just want to encourage everybody, you have access to the best of the best. And I just don't miss this particular blessing. It's really special. There's really no reason for anyone in iBoomerang to not reach their next level of success. You have it here. All you have to do is show up to the training, get the training, take notes, and then the next part is the most crucial part, to apply it, and to apply it quickly. Right? There's going to be some people that are going to take what they learned today and explode, because they're faster to apply what they learned today than someone else. Mr. Haynes talked about, sometimes people who fight the training, or slow to apply it. Those folks can get results, but it's just going to take them longer. All they're doing is delaying their own success. So I just want to encourage you guys, just absorb this and what's the word? Surrender to it. It's not theory, right? It's not an idea. It's not something that Mr. Haynes wants to test out on you. This is tried, tested, and proven. And I just want to encourage you guys, apply it quickly. So that said, we do have a special guest here in Flight School. You never know who's going to show up on Flight School. And this guest could not be any specialer.
New word alert.
Specialer, right? Because it's none other than the heartbeat and visionary of the company, our very good friend, brother, and the mentor of mentors himself, the visionary Holton Buggs. And so, HB, we're ready for you.
Absolutely.
Come on. All right.
All righty. Good morning, Flight School. First of all, guys, I want everybody to put a big boom in the chat for our Global Master Ambassador, Mr. Edwin Haynes. Great training. I was able to be here and listen to the entire training all day long. And, well, not all day long, but all the training as I drove up here listening, and then had a chance to actually hear it live. And we've got this whole team of people who come in on Saturday mornings, and they're in there quiet, taking notes and working and stuff like that. So that's the way of just giving him congratulations. He can't hear you, but he can see the love. He can see the booms, and he can see all of those in the chat. I won't be here long at all, but I came, I wanted to cover a couple things here. First of all, did we talk about Accelerate?
Not yet. So
Accelerate. Okay.
We're going to hit
Somebody
that
else is doing that?
Yeah. You
No,
want to do it?
I'll do it. I'll do that real quick.
You do it.
There's two things I want to talk to you about real quick, and you have to stay on, and I won't be long. Two things I want to talk to you about that's very, very, very important. Edwin talked about the 3 vital signs of a healthy business, and one of them obviously was how many people are attending events. And he talked about wanting to own a percentage of the market, owning a percentage of the business. And if you pay attention, every time there's an event, you also see growth take place right after the event. Accelerate has been designed specifically to create what I would call a power booster, or that high octane boost for 2020. Now, there's a reason why we don't do it in January, because if we did it in January with all the planning, none of our staff would ever have a Thanksgiving, or they wouldn't have a Christmas, because there's so much work that goes into putting events together that it would just wipe out the entire holiday. So what we do is we say the earliest time that we can do an event after January, obviously it's February, and so we've got our dates that we have set here. And it's really designed to accelerate. I want you to just look at the name, Accelerate. It is designed, and what we're going to do is really lay out how you go step by step and accelerate your business. Now, for some of you, that's going to be accelerating maybe from director, maybe to, senior director within a 90-day period of time. Or some of you may do that by the end of the event. Some of you will accelerate from just joining the business all the way up to Sapphire, just joining the business all the way up to Diamond. Okay, we have several people who've been able to do it. The thing I want you to understand is I want you to be able to choose your lane and stay in your lane. And so just because someone goes from 0 to hero in the first month doesn't mean that you're not worthy. Stay in your lane, run your race, and then let the trainings condition you for an advanced, what we call heat. When I ran track, we ran in heats. And so you would always see the first heat, second heat, and those were based off of your speed. They put you in a category so that you wouldn't be embarrassed running against a world-class sprinter and you're just a beginner. They put you in there with beginners. We call them heats. So run your heat, and that's why we built the business here for what we call the elephants and the fish. You'll get that training a little bit later, and we're having so many elephants, so many fish have success in our business. And what we're going to do at Accelerate is highlight that, okay? You're going to be able to see everyone, every category or every heat that we have. You're going to be able to see them on stage, not just getting recognition, but being a part of the event itself. And so we're really, really, really excited about that. Now, here's the thing. What we've done is when we put on events, we put them on, and our goal is to make sure that we give an experience at our events that a person looks around and says, how in the world did they put this on for this price? That's what our goal is. We want them coming out of there and focusing on nothing but accelerating, okay? And we do it for a very nominal price. Our early bird tickets were $149, and we do that at the event. Now, just to share with you how we normally do our ticketing system so that you are aware. I want you to be aware. How we do it is this. What we do is we allocate a certain number of tickets in each price category. That's how we're supposed to do it. We've been generous. We've been in a Christmas spirit like all year round. So what we do is, let's say we may have 1,000 or 1,500 tickets for $149. And as soon as those hit as soon as it hit 1,500, immediately it goes to the next ticket bracket. And when it hits however many we have there, it immediately goes to the next ticket bracket, okay? So that's the way we are designed to do it. And we're gonna start making sure that we hold ourselves accountable to it as well. But what we've done has been very generous. We've gone over and above and extended the early bird and the first tier after early bird. We've extended it way beyond what our threshold should be. And so now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to upgrade, all right? Not only is it time to upgrade from wherever you are, it's time to upgrade our ticket pricing, and that ticket pricing upgrade will be going from $179, and by Sunday, 11:59 p.m., it's going to be $199. Now, here's the thing I want you to know. Because we've sold so many tickets, we've sold about almost twice as many tickets as we did prior at our Vision conference here, okay? Almost twice as many tickets. And we're going for a full house, okay? I talked with the Diamonds the other day, and I told them, hey guys, let's go out, let's get 100 new registrations per day for Accelerate so that we can hit our goal of at least having 10,000 people at the event. We do 100 a day, we will have our 10,000 people at the event. And we possibly can have even more, so we need your help with that. Now, get your tickets for $179 now. It's gonna go to $199, but the amount of $199 tickets that we normally had allotted, we're gonna sell fewer of those. Why? Because we've allowed the majority of them to go for $179 and $199. Not to mention, if those of you, and there's some people out there, I can't call your names right now, but there's some of us out there that have been sponsoring Maniacs, and you've made sure that the majority of the people that you sponsored bought the $50 ticket right at the time that they got involved. You know, you're gonna see how that pays off for you. You're gonna see exactly how that pays off for you. We wanted to make a way to get people to the event so that it's not cost prohibitive, so that they can be in the environment, be in this atmosphere, and take advantage of everything. But right now, we're gonna take those prices up starting Saturday night, $199, and we will only keep the $199 for a short period of time. We're gonna look at the inventory and see how many of those tickets that we can allot, and then we're gonna take it up to $229 because it is that time, ladies and gentlemen. $229, it is that time. And then obviously it'll go to $249, and then the full price is $299. There is no reason, like none, zero reason that anyone should ever pay $299. I'll be honest with you. The only reason we put $299 on a ticket is to make you understand the $50 value of the ticket. We don't want to sell you a $299 ticket. I wish I could put $1,000 on it because it's worth it. It is absolutely worth it. I was talking with a buddy of mine he's blowing my phone up. I got to call him back anyway. And he's actually speaking at Grant Cardone, okay? Good friend of mine. He's speaking at Grant Cardone. He actually signed up into iBoomerang as well. I think Johnny Wimbrey sponsored him. One of our good friends we grew up with, and he's doing some amazing things. Now, my buddy has a training that he does for 2 days. He does it once a month. Once a month, he does a training. And it sells out, and he's got a waiting list. You know how much the price of his training is for 2 days? It's $10,000. 10 grand. He was just over there he was just at Eric Worre's event, right? Yeah. Teaching at their mastery, but he was talking about who his mentor was. He was letting them know, I learned all of this stuff from HB, right? And all of these guys in the room, he says, yeah, I've got this stuff from HB. This is where I learned it from. And if it wasn't for what he had done, I wouldn't have been able to go get it through college and stuff like that. And
we got to stop the room. Somebody said Grant Cardone signed up in iBoomerang.
No, not. I don't know. I saw Johnny Wimbrey interviewing him on, he may have. Why not? Why wouldn't he? Here's what I know about successful people. Who doesn't want to have a discount on their travel? That's right. Who doesn't? Everybody does. So I wouldn't be shocked, and the whole world should sign up on iBoomerang. But anyway, what I'm telling you is that the value of what it is that you have. I've got a training that I'm going to personally. It's a mentoring session that I get to be around some pretty sharp people, okay? But here's the cool thing. All right? They are what I call now generation and next generation. They're making it happen now, and they're going to make it happen next, all right? And so my focus is being around the category of people that can accelerate my thinking as well. And so for a mentorship session, I paid 10 grand. I paid $10,000 to go to a mentorship session myself, right? And why? Because here's the philosophy. Here's how I rate the value of an event. And it's not that necessarily the value. There's always a thing called value versus price. And I said I wasn't going to be here long. I'll give you this one, and then I'm on to the next thing. So if I pay $299 for a ticket, this is what I do, Mark. I go and I say, okay, if I bought me a rental property and I paid $300,000 for a rental property, am I going to sell it for $250,000? No. I'm not even going to sell it for $310,000. My personal goal is to make sure that I get a minimum. Well, my system of real estate is a little different, but minimum, I want 30% back on my investment. So I want to sell that property for at least for $400,000. All right. So I'm not going to buy a property whereas I can't see that I can gain a profit out of it. So here's the thing that you look at. You don't negotiate the price of just the ticket. You look at the entire cost of going to the event. Just to be candid with you. You look at your flight, you look at your hotel, sleep 50 in a room. I don't care. You shouldn't be in your room that long anyway, okay? So I don't look to go get these comfortable rooms specifically if I don't have the budget for it. But if you take a look and you say, my total cost, I got my ticket, whether you bought it at 50 or whether you buy it at 159 or 129 or whatever it is, 179, 229, and then you look at your airline ticket, whatever that is, you say, if I've got this environment for 2 full days, I'm going to be around every single diamond that's going to be there. I have the opportunity at this point to be around the diamonds, see the diamonds. I have the opportunity to win contests and be up there with the 5 and 25 and be in that VIP section, which you should be competing for anyway. Every time there's a contest, compete to win. In this environment over 48 hours, can I get at least one idea that's going to allow me, if my total cost for coming was $1,000, can I get enough information to allow me to get one idea that's going to profit me $1,300? Okay. If you don't see that you can profit and make $1,300 off of one idea at this event, don't come. Don't come. You got to start thinking like a business person. Some people look and say, you're going to spend $10,000? And guess what? Probably out of this mentoring session, the main mentor that I'm working with has not even made as much as I've made. But remember I said he's not only now generation, he's next. He's on track. He's doing some things that are just out of the box. And it's not about who makes the most. It's about, do they have a skill set that I could personally use to go and up my game? Does Edwin Haynes have a skill set that I can use to up my game? Of course. You know, from the beginning, does Mark and T. Gray, can they give me something to up my game? Of course they can. When I take a look at our blue diamonds and our diamonds and some of these other, what we call the fish and the elephant who are going to be there, can I take one little skill set? I tell you something right now, okay? What up my game? I listened to Renee Young. I'll never forget. I was over in, I was in Malaysia. In the airport, I never forget where I was when she did the training on how she gets customers. It upped my game. And so if I had it with me, myself, Renee Young, she's not even a diamond at this moment, but if I had to pay $1,000 to have a one-on-one session, if I was real serious about building my business and hear exactly what she was doing, I knew for a fact I can go and make $1,300 with her information. So that's how I make decisions when it comes to educating myself and putting myself in that environment. So when I say, yeah, I'll pay $10,000 to go for this session that I'm going to go do, this mentoring session, I have to qualify for it. Did you know that? Yep. They made me do an interview. Yep. And put me through a series of this to see was I even qualified to give them my 10 grand. Why? Because they don't care about the 10 grand, they need the story. Why? Because their next session that they're going to probably sell for 100 grand to someone, here's what they want. CEO of iBoomerang was here at our $10,000 session and took iBoomerang from only 340,000 customers to 3 million customers. Took iBoomerang from 40,000 active reps to 400,000 active reps, and took iBoomerang from X dollars of revenue to $1 billion company. And see, when that's a part of their portfolio, they can sell whatever it is that they want to sell. That's right. Okay, and so that's the way that you have to look at. Don't look at going to another training. It's another event. I want you to get so focused and isolate yourself into what it is that you want and come to this event with a reason. Don't make a decision to come to an event. Come to the event to make a decision. And you focus on that one thing that you believe that you are missing. You get in concert with your upline and say, hey, what is it what's the missing component that I should be looking for at this event? And I got to be real candid with you. We have a lot of fun, and guys, we are throwing a party. I just went to visit yesterday, right? You remember I sent you some messages, you saw 2 deleted? Yeah. One deleted says, I'm on my way to come get you. Can you leave right now? You didn't respond. And they were waiting. They called me and they said, we got to leave. So I was in the neighborhood and I had to leave. That's why I deleted the messages. But anyway, I went and they're saying, we can't top this. My team is saying, HB, we may not be able to do another event in Houston because we may not be able to top it. We may not be able to top this. And so it's going to be incredible. We're gonna ball out. Okay, we'll talk to you about that next week. We're gonna ball out. But here's what's gonna happen. What's going to happen, okay, is you've got to get in concert. You get with your mentor, says, here's the thing that I want you to get. And when I come to an event, now this is for somebody this is for my PhDs out there, my people headed for Diamond. I never came to the event to socialize. Did I socialize? Yeah, but I didn't come for that. I came to the event to get what I was coming for. And once I got it, I was able to have fun then. But I wasn't there to just joke. I was there. It was a working event for me and my team. During breaks, we would be making calls back. I came with a plan. I set up a plan, a specific plan of how I would attend the event. And my team, they know. They would come. I tell them, hey guys, listen, build your list before you come. Why? Everybody's not going to be there. There's things that we're going to talk about that you need to set up conference calls and get with your group on, so that when we leave the event, you're already in momentum and you're not waiting to get back. Now your emotions are flat and you're trying to reignite or accelerate with flat emotions. So come to the event with the purpose. Don't have 50. Have one, no more than 3. You can't focus on too many things. One, no more than 3. But come to make sure that you multiply your investment. And if you don't believe that you can get 30% more than what you paid minimum, you shouldn't come. I know I shouldn't anti-promote, but I'm being real.
People are putting in the chat, can Renee Young do that trading at Accelerate?
Okay. Possibly so, possibly so. So, but here's the thing. Just do it, guys. I'm just telling you how to make it happen. How to make it happen. All right. And so do that and go ahead and get your tickets, get them now, and make sure you engage through your group. We're going to do 100 a day, but today we need to register 300 people today. Let's not play around. Let's get 300 in queue right now today. Do what you got to do to promote the event, and let's get 100 people a day, and let's send shockwaves through your organization and through the world of one of the largest events specifically for a second major event, and the company still will not even been 1 year old. Okay, let's do that. Now, next thing I want to talk to you about, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tone it down a little bit. I'm excited in a different type of feeling now. I'm excited because I'm in a position today to make change. I'm in a position today to affect the world, and you are too. And that's one thing about success, is that along with success comes responsibility. Okay? It comes, responsibility comes along with that. And when we talk about being just different, it's not just talk. It's the real deal. And I know what my definiteness of purpose have been, and I set my definiteness of purpose so many years ago that I said that my definiteness of purpose, this was probably about 15, maybe 17, 18 years ago, was to positively affect the lives of over 100 million people, financially, spiritually, and personally. And I never forget when I set that definiteness of purpose, that was when I started, that was my brand. My brand is not my logo. My brand is my purpose and my promise, okay? That's what my brand is. It's my promise. What's the promise of HB Living? What's the promise of my life to humanity? And I made sure that my brand and my walk was congruent, okay? And I wanted to affect change. And at one point in time, I thought that I had to affect change by doing something big, and you don't. Because when I wanted to do something big, guess what? I never did anything. I was afraid to take that quantum leap because I didn't know what my steps were. It's some of you right now who want to go diamond, and what you're thinking about right now is how to get 200,000 volume. Well, don't focus on that. How do I sponsor the next person? Because every person has started to started with one. And some of them got 2, maybe 2 seconds later. Some got them 2 weeks later. But you start with just one. And I've noticed that when I started small things, what difference it made. I noticed that when I started my 12 days of Christmas, which is now 31 days, that every day and Christmas, I don't do anything for myself. I do something to make other people happy. I noticed that so many other people caught on and started doing it as well. It was small. It was something very simple. Now I live every day of my life that way. I make sure every day that I wake up that today I'm going to do something to make someone happy and who's unexpected. I did a post while I was sitting here about my mom. I was just thinking about her, and my brother reached out, texted me back on Instagram, says, "Wow, she is so excited. She was shocked, because my mom doesn't have a smartphone. She still got one of those phones with the big buttons on it, a flip phone. So she doesn't have, she's never been on social media since my brother's show. But it was her day in the rotation today of somebody I wanted to make feel special. And what did it cost me? It cost me nothing. And sometimes you can do it with nothing. Sometimes you can do it with just a little thought, with a little selflessness. Sometimes you can do it with a kind gesture, a little bit of effort. Sometimes you can do it with money and, send something here and send something there. It's just amazing how it works. And that's the boomerang philosophy. Well, something real touched me, and I wasn't even aware of it. I don't watch a lot of regular television. I kind of plan my television time because I can do streaming. So when I get at home and I'm done late at night, I'll watch me some movies or whatever it is. So I don't watch a lot of regular television unless sports are on or something like that. But I happen to be watching TV, and I saw what was going on in Australia. And I was shocked because I didn't know. I didn't even know it was happening. And I was shocked at the devastation that had taken place. And immediately my thought process went to my brand. How could I make a difference? What could I do? So first thing I did is reached out to someone who's in Australia. I wanted to know the real story. Hey, what's really going on? Talk to me. Tell me what's happening. And I could hear it in their text message, even though we didn't talk over the phone, that it was pretty bad. That was what was going on. Matter of fact, I'll show you a little video show, and it's pretty graphic what I'm going to show you. So I just want to let you know that if you've got, and I'm not showing you this to make your heart weak so that you can go into your wallet. I'm showing you this because here's what touched me. And I'll show you a little clip here, and I want to tell you because we want your help, and Australia needs your help. It's part of our family. It's part of the top 5 countries that we have. And there's a major distraction that's going on of people now having to shift their focus to do for survival and for purpose. What good is it to have brothers and sisters when you can't count on something? They never ask. But I want to show you something here of what's taking place. And I read that it was over 500 million animals of different species that have actually lost their lives. That was a week ago. I don't know if it's even gotten worse. So I want to show you this video here, and then I'm going to ask you to dig into your pockets, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Go ahead and show this video here. Real stuff.
You want to put them in the blanket and bring them out of the hot stuff?
We'll get going.
you know, I could show more, but I think you probably now have a sense of what's happening, and that's just showing you what's happening to koalas. Remember, there's almost every species out there. I saw another video that was a herd of sheep that were black, and I thought they were black sheep. It was just that all of their wool had been burned, and it was a field of sheep that had lost their lives and a few that had survived, and you know, it was just, it's devastating. It is. It's devastating. And when you know better, you should do better. And I reached out. I reached out to one of our leaders over in Australia. I reached out also to our chief giving officer, Peter Hirsch, and told him, hey, listen, we've got to do something from the Boom Foundation with Australia. And we have to. And so today I want your help as well. And so the Boom Foundation is going to make a donation. And here's what we want to have happen as well, okay? Let's go to the Boom Foundation today, and any donations that are made today between this entire weekend, let's dig real deep, okay? As deep as you can. You know, I don't want to tell you what, but any little bit counts. And you can go to your back office. I think the Boom Foundation is right there. They can make donations right there, right? Make those donations, and we're going to tag them from anything that's donated, starting from this Saturday here, okay, up until next flight school. Okay. Let's do next flight school. Okay. Because I want you to, you know, send the link out. Let other people know about the link. And guys, if you know, the Boom Foundation, there's no administrative fees that we take, and we make sure that the money goes directly. We have our Boom Foundation right now with Peter Hirsch and Anna, Clay Fishman and Jose Luis Rivas, Karen Hirsch, Cesar Munoz. They just left Mexico. I couldn't be there because of some things that we had to do, but they were meeting with the president of Mexico and orphanages and children, and they said it was the most impactful visit they've ever had from a corporate, and they want our help in showing them how to even be better at what they do, and they're trying to hurry up and arrange a meeting with the president, ex-president Vicente Fox and myself, which we're trying to make this schedule work because they see that we're sincere about making a difference. So just go to the Boom Foundation, put your donation in there, and let's just do our part. And we may not, as a company, solve the whole problem, but we can make a difference. We can make a difference, and so. I want to let you guys know that's really important to me, really important to us, and it's really important to our Australian family. So thank each and every one of you for tuning in. I don't know if there's anything else that we have here.
We're done.
We are done for this flight school that we have, and all of you tuned in, you stayed in here. Incredible training. I think Edwin, I looked at the numbers and he kept the attention of every single person that was in there. We appreciate each and every one of you, and thanks for listening to my message at the end. Let's go out there. Let's raise the roof. Let's raise some money for Australia. Let's go ahead and book our tickets. Let's get 300 and then 100 a day. Let's go out there and make a difference to save a life. See you guys. Boom. Boom.